Who likes squirrels?
I'm a wildlife rehabilitator.
Well, I'm not that. I just like squirrels.
I thought you were asking, like, who is it in here that likes squirrels?
I was.
Yeah.
Because they're everywhere. I love squirrels.
Awesome.
My name's Desireé Pinder, and I run Hotel for Squirrels and Squirrel Hotel, and I rehab squirrels.
Yeah, you gotta hit them with an IV fast.
Yep, will do.
Okay, if you need anything from me, just let me know.
I'll send you a form to fill out when I get home.
Okay.
Okay, as soon as I get him help, I'll let you know what's going on. Okay. Thank you for driving here. Appreciate it.
No problem. I hope you makes it.
Me too. I'll do my best.
You're a specialist, so you're like the best.
I run Squirrel Hotel. I've released over 2,500 squirrels, and so I do my best by him.
It's my first time. I'm a dog man.
You did good. Thank you for bringing him.
Is there a common thread between how all the squirrels you take and get hurt?
Probably the most common thing with squirrels are that they're the wind. I mean, that's probably the number one way that squirrels come to me is there's been a nest knocked out of a tree. Tree cutters are the other one. Cat caught. So somehow they've gotten to the ground or the cat has climbed the tree and grabbed them. So cat caught's a big deal.
So he was cat caught. So somebody's stray cat came up to the porch and had him in his mouth. And whenever they're cat caught, there's no like trying to reunite them or anything. It's an automatic. They have to come in because cat saliva is toxic to squirrels, and it doesn't actually have to like actually hurt them. It could just be on their skin, and they still need to have antibiotics. So, but when I got there and saw him, his body condition, you are so cute. His body condition told me that mom has been dead for a while. When that happens, they'll eventually leave the nest and just go up to the first thing that they see moving. And in his case, he was unlucky. He walked up to a cat.
Probably the most important thing to know about any squirrel that touches the ground is that allowing them the chance to get back with mama is the first key. So, we do rehabilitate, we do release, but the first R that we try for is to reunite. So we've created a squirrel call that calls mama. So I call it the squirrel GPS, and we put it underneath the squirrels and let it call. And sometimes baby squirrels will call. And I mean, how did I get the squirrel call? A baby called and I recorded it. But sometimes they'll call. Sometimes they are so scared they're curled up in a ball and they won't say a word. Because if I'm being stalked by another animal and I call, I'm telling that animal where I am. So it's nature to say, I'm going to be quiet. And now I've hit this point of hunger to the point where I will scream for mommy and I will tell her where I am. So there's that point between where you want them to call, and if they're not doing it, we do it for them.
So they have different calls. They have that particular call is danger. Are we danger? Are we danger, danger? They actually have different calls for danger on the ground, danger in the air. They all work together. Probably the number one thing that I have that is hard for me is when people raise their squirrels as singletons, because they don't learn these calls and they don't have someone else to watch out for them. So a singleton squirrel is they raised one and it doesn't have a mommy, it doesn't have a sibling. So a lot of times, actually there's one in here that has never had a sibling until it came into this cage. So it's never been around a squirrel. And so this call is teaching them there's danger, and I'm sure she or he is talking about us. Yeah.
So an average day as a rehabber is feeding squirrels every 3 hours, so 3 to 4 hours. So I feed the squirrels, I start feeding until they're done, and then about 2.5 hours later I start that all over again. So it's a lot of work, and the reward is to see them go to the trees.
I know, it's a struggle. Here, I should help you push it in there. Can I help you? There you go. Nope. Ah! So the problem with these guys is they were raised by someone other than me, and they were raised as pets for a while. And they're too friendly. But in the world of friendly, they would bite me if given the opportunity. So I need them to run from me versus come after me. I have to come out at night when they're asleep and pull things out. That's the only way I can clean this cage, because they come after me, like to attack. Ah, okay. Yeah, you just grabbed me, didn't you? Okay. Let me see. Can I give you something different? Here. Okay, can you run off with it so I can give you food, please? No? Please? So if I open this and put this in there, that gives this opening to them to be able to come out, and that's what I don't want. Yeah, maybe bully squirrel will knock it and tell everyone else to leave. Here, can you take that? Now can you go? Please? Please? So what I'm gonna do is do that. Okay. Success. No squirrels escaped, no one got bit.
Let me start with, nobody in here has teeth. They cannot hurt you. So if you're scared of squirrels, not a good place to come. If you aren't, come on with me. But they can't bite you. This is the non-releasables. There are 7 in here. I have 10 in all. I believe that's Cheeto. What messes have you guys left me? You guys left me some messes. Yep. Say, well, what do you expect? Nothing like being in the bowl. And here comes the bully. Kimbro, you let him win. Yeah, every time. This is my very first non-releasable squirrel. He's 9 years old. He was a Hurricane Irma baby. So when he came out of the tree during Hurricane Irma, he landed on his face, and he came down out of the tree so fast that and so hard onto concrete that it shattered this part of his face. His name's Cyrano, after Cyrano de Bergerac. Hi, baby. Because he didn't even look like a squirrel when I got him. And for the first few days, we didn't even know if he was going to make it. But after a lot of TLC, he was able to make it, and we had to have his teeth removed, professionally by a vet, of course. That was the only way to allow him to live. What happens with squirrels with this issue. It's called a malocclusion. Their teeth grow different ways. So his top teeth were going into his tongue. His bottom teeth were coming up into the roof of his mouth. And so eventually, had he been released to the wild, he would have died. So he wouldn't have been able to eat, he wouldn't have been able to defend himself, and he wouldn't have been able to create a dray. So for those 3 reasons, he had to have those teeth removed. They never stop growing. So unlike ours, where we can have braces and everything's fine eventually, squirrels' teeth never stop growing. And so I've seen squirrels that actually have their teeth come up into the roof of into the top of their head. And then the only way to fix that is to either trim their teeth, which I do have the tools to be able to do that, but he started running from me. So he would see me and say, "Oh, you're going to trim my teeth." It doesn't hurt them. It's like trimming nails, but even dogs don't like to have their nails trimmed because of that pop. So we had that surgery done, and so now he's non-releasable.
This is Regano.
I thought he was up there.
But someone else is up there. Regano has some arthritis, so he's on a heating pad. That's why the heating pad's here. And he gets fed, I feed him formula to make sure he's getting enough calcium twice a day. I don't have the formula here. Hi, baby. Hi. So Cyrano was my first non-releasable, and Regano was my second. And Regano shows his age a little bit different than Cyrano. Squirrels can live up to 20 years in captivity. So Cyrano's 9, Regano's 8. But Regano, when he walks like an old man. Sweet baby. Okay, I'll bring you avocado in a minute. How about that? Today's release day, and it's so exciting. These guys have been in their cage for 2 months.
There you go.
And they are ready for me to open the doors. So let's do it.
That's freedom.
That's freedom, baby doll. There's a tree. There's your first tree, baby. What is that? It's your first leaf. What is that? It's amazing. She's at the top. Here we go. Live your best life. Come back and visit. I'll even do your laundry.
In the beginning, it's a lot of care and feeding and wiping their behinds and making sure that they're clean, and they become part of my life. I become part of theirs. When they're about 12 weeks old is when they need to start pulling away. I'm teaching them all the things that they need to know to be independent. It's amazing. So success for a rehabber is getting that baby, that teeny tiny baby, and getting them to the trees so that they're successful in life. They're amazing creatures, and so I guess that's a long way of saying, relationship with them is something that I enjoy. It's Mother Nature's gift to me when I get to keep one, but they need to be in the trees. Yourself in there? She sees herself.
looking at the landscape.